back to my channel. We got Marriage Boot Camp we got to get into, Hip Hop Edition. Some drama popped off with Jocelyn and Stevie J. And then kind of a spin-off of Marriage Boot Camp, we need to talk about What the Flocka. I think I might give this, a show a chance. A couple of you guys asked me to, give it a look and stuff. So I did. And I'm not mad at it. We're definitely getting to see an insight into Tammy and Walka's life because, they previously were on Marriage Boot Camp. So we saw a couple of issues that they had, but now they done, got their bag and they coin, did a little spin-off for them, and we're seeing a little bit more insight, to their life. But we'll talk about Marriage Boot Camp first, then we'll get into What the Flocka. And so from here on out, if I, do decide to review both of them, I'll probably just combine the video because on WeTV they come on, right after each other. So we'll just make it easier that way. So nonetheless, if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to your girl's channel and make sure to follow me on my other social medias. Look down in the description box, for my Twitter and Instagram. And then let's get started with the review. So let's talk about Marriage Boot Camp first. Jocelyn, she is crying up in her room because she just found out the judge granted Stevie J custody of Bonnie Bella. Now, this was back when we heard things got really ugly between them two. And she was upset because she's like, Ballistic is the only man Bonnie Bella ever really knew. So to me, I'm questioning, so is Stevie J being an absentee father? Because he definitely has been, accused of that before. Or is Jocelyn keeping Bonnie Bella away from him? So, excuse me, y'all, just had lunch. So the therapist comes in to check on her. Dr. Ish is trying to talk her off the ledge. He's like, look, this doesn't mean you're a bad mom. It just means for right now, Bonnie Bella has to go with her dad. And of all people for her to go with, her dad is the person that she needs to be with. But the issue for me is like, Stevie J, you a punk because you definitely knew to wait till she was gone in Marriage Boot Camp. And you weren't going to have any, pushback on getting Bonnie Bella back. Like, he knew to wait for the opportune time while she was gone to try and plead his case, make himself look better, make her look like the unfit mom, and it worked. So for the meantime, it just seems like while she's gone at Marriage Boot Camp, Bonnie Bella's gonna be with Stevie J. But I didn't like how he played that. Like, it definitely was some punk shit, because at the end of the day, Stevie J, when it comes to your kids, you don't pay for them, you're not being, financially, there for them. I mean, bare minimum if you are. And it doesn't really seem that you just spend time with your kids because you're really too busy out in the streets hoeing. But if you want to, finally decide you want to be the new grand old remix dad, Stevie J, and, make it better for Bonnie Bella, then I hope that's what you're doing. So they ended up skipping the first, the first activity or whatever. So everybody gets like mimosas, they have little lingerie, sleeky pajamas, and it goes into the first activity, which is like a little sex questionnaire game. So basically just is, would you rather bury your body or bury your soul? Talk about, your deeper secret fantasies, your, different type of fetishes and whatnot, just stupid kind of sex questions and stuff. So they go through it. Chosis and Bianca pissed me off because Dr. Ish looking at them like, didn't y'all just get into a fight? He's like, well, how did y'all make up? And basically they fucked it out. That's what their problem is. They fight and then they make up by having sex and they basically think that's gonna fix everything, but it don't. After them 10 minutes is up, y'all gonna go right back to fighting. So y'all can't keep using sex as y'all's fixture for everything, which is what Dr. Ish said. So then Shani, we find out she like the diddle the skittle 3 days a week. We find out that she is a very sexual person. Stu and Michelle A, they might as well break up at this point. And who else was there? Oh, Styles P and Adjua. She seemed like a little closet freak, okay? Because she said she had no problem talking about sex. So they get done with that little exercise. Bonnie and Chosis go have a quick sex session because they done got turned on and stuff. He like, shit, I wanted to take a nap, but, Bianca was in the mood to throw that ass bike, so okay. And so the rest of the, couples go to check on Jocelyn and Ballistic, and they get filled in on what happened. Styles P apparently actually is cool with Stevie J. And Audrey was pissed, like, come on, Stevie J, like, don't be that dude. She's like, Styles talks to him all the time. Let me see if I can figure something out. So Styles tried to call Stevie J, but he ain't answer. So I think Stevie J probably knew, I'm not doing it because he's going to come and try and convince me of some stuff and, tell me I'm wrong, which he was. But you know, Styles P just looked like, he's like, look, right now she's with her dad. You know, if there's ever a person she need to be with, it is him. Just know that right now, do that, because they were trying to send a warrant out for Jocelyn's arrest. Like, he was doing the whole 9 yards. And Michelle A gets it because she went through with her kids, and I'm guessing, you know, with all her, did she have kids with Dr. Dre? Who did she have kids by? I think it was it Dr. Dre, right? But Michelle A, nonetheless, she gets it. She been through the whole court system, and she, you know, they ended up helping them out with that. So they get down for the next practice or activity, and we see the puppets. The puppets is always one of my favorite ones because it is just so funny. People tend to loosen up, and before the puppets, they came down, and the other couples, you know, tried to do the activity with Jocelyn Ballistic, help fill them in. They gave them like little clothing to play the game with, and they asked the questions. Ballistic, old Brooklyn self, he done gave Jocelyn a lap dance. And I actually really like Ballistic, y'all. He's kind of growing on me. He definitely has enough street to him to handle Jocelyn, but he also now has to turn it down and just be there for Jocelyn and be a tender like dude when she needs it, because Jocelyn's a hard act to control, because that bitch goes from 0 to 100 real fast, and sometimes you gotta like cut that bitch off at 60 before she go off the handle, okay? But they really appreciate the other couples like involving them in the games and stuff like that. So then now they get to the puppets. Y'all, my favorite puppet by far had to be CeeLo's, because that shit looked just like him. It was not even funny how much that shit looked just alike. So basically what the point of the puppets is to portray what their sex life was when they first met versus what it is like now. So for CeeLo and Shaunie, when they first met, you know, they was banging it out, and CeeLo was the aggressor typically. And come to find out, Shaunie pulled a fast one on CeeLo. She got her nut and then dipped in the morning. CeeLo somehow was like, Shaunie. She left. He rolled out. I said, not Shaunie. Shaunie was the boy. Shaunie played his pole a little hard, and he did not like that. But come to find out, now she's being more aggressive, and she wants him to take that power back. He wants, you know, she wants like some Mr. and Mrs. Smith type play. You know, real aggressive, fighting each other. And when we get done fighting, we gonna fuck it out real fast. Like, that's what she kind of want. But he kind of got uncomfortable, which is quite odd. Like, even though CeeLo seems to be this very eccentric person, I also do think he is very closed off at the same time. So later on in the episode, he kind of gets upset with her for some odd reason. But then Shaunie and Bianca and Chose go up there, and, you know, Dr. Ish has to tell them, like, stop using sex as the fixture for everything. You know, she was on him 24/7. They both was giving each other oral sex all the time. But they're young. They still got the energy. That's what they're going to do. Adjua and Styles P, now their issue was because he cheated on her. She started using sex as a weapon, which could be a very slippery slope, because, yeah, he cheated on you, and then you start holding sex from him, and it's like, well, where else is he going to get the sex then? As much as you lost that trust for him and you don't want to give your body to him, like, you keep doing that, he's gonna look for sex somewhere else. So that is kind of like a slippery slope where it's like, no, you gotta earn it back. Like, you have to make sure you did everything you can to earn my trust and my body back. But if I keep holding it off, like, he's gonna run off somewhere. So I just really do I really enjoy Styles P and Adjua as a couple, and I hope they can work it out. But, you know, Adjua understands and Styles P understand, like, he messed up, and they're just gonna have to work through that. Now, Michelle A and Stu, everybody was talking about how, like, they couldn't even take them seriously when it came to the sex. All it was high-pitched squeals and grins. Like, them having sex, I know, is, like, awkward. Probably, like, first time virginity having sex. Stu just does not look like he be getting into it. Like, he just does not look like he know what he doing. But they talked about the first time, and Michelle A had cried because she had been celibate for 2 years. So it was a big moment for her. She finally found somebody that, you know, was willing, that was enough for her to give her body up to him. But she kind of was annoyed. Stu said something about that. But at the end of the day, he's like, it's what happened. So, you know, it was a good thing that Stu's trying to find that balance of being hard enough for Michelle A, but not being too much to where it gives her PTSD of what happened to her in the past. Because no matter what, you know, she's always going to have to get over that, because all of her young adult life was with shitty ass dudes. And then when you finally get a good dude like Stu, and you're not getting that hard act, then it's kind of not really attractive because it's like, damn, I can run all over him. But then when he does trying to get like all buck on you, it's like, nope, retreat. So Styles P actually had to explain to Stu, look, like she a grown ass woman, you can handle it. And he had to say, Michelle A, look, Stu is a grown ass man, quit treating like a boy. Like he's gonna get it right. So they just gotta find that balance. But Stu seems to be contemplating like, damn, maybe I'm not realizing how much work I do got to put in with Michelle A. And he seems to be contemplating a lot, which is making him look like he already one step out the door. Who else is there? Oh, Ballistic and Jocelyn kind of find out Ballistic don't be eating the cootie cat, okay? Ballistic just be dropping D and then that's it. And, he said he done it before, but he looked like one of them dudes that feel like he just too big and bad to like try and go down on a woman. Like, you can't do that. Look, if she I know Jocelyn be slobbing on the knob for Ballistic, so if she could do that for you, buddy, you just gonna have to, your jaws are just gonna have to be tired and go down on Jocelyn because that's what you do for your partner. You want to, be able to please them. But he said, he'll be more into it, I guess, next time. So after everybody's done with the, the little puppets and stuff like that, Michelle A. Stu are outside talking, and he's discussing with her like kind of their struggles in the relationship, and she's like, good or bad? He's like, both. He's like, I'm just underestimating what boot camp was really gonna bring out for both of us, and he's battling whether this is what he wants to continue doing. Now Shani and CeeLo go upstairs, and she's talking to him about the goddamn activity because he's mad and upset. I guess he was embarrassed, maybe. I don't know. But he was like, the way you made it seem was not right. And she was like, no, you have your perspective. I have my perspective. That's the whole point. He's like, well, I guess it's just split perspectives in, and we just have to accept that we're two different people. Nah, shit, Sherlock. Yes, you are two different people. That's the way it works. Two different ass people come together in a relationship, and you try to combine both of y'all's, good and flaws into a good combination. Now, you can't sit there and diminish what she said because it wasn't what your perspective was. That's the whole point of like coming here to boot camp, is to try and fix y'all's communication, which is obviously a problem. Then he wants to be an asshole when she said like, I love you for like good night. He's like, just because you tell me I love you, doesn't mean I gotta say it back. The fuck? I roll your big ass out this bed. You keep disrespecting me like that. Okay, CeeLo, don't get all moody with your big old grape seed head ass. Don't nobody got this time for you. And then we got Bianca and Chosen downstairs fighting over why he want to be affectionate, but then not affectionate at the same time. He says that's the same thing she do. But she's like, nah, because you only affectionate after I get onto you about something. Nah, he knows, oh, she mad at me right now, so I'm gonna be cute, make a little joke, rub on her leg, and she gonna forget about it, which is what always happens. Y'all fight about something, y'all get turned on about it, fuck it out, and then y'all get mad all over again because he's like, yeah, help, but the problem's still there. Like, it don't fix nothing. It does it temporary. Y'all keep trying to put a Band-Aid on shit. And he's only going to be affectionate to you when he wants to be, when he feels like, oh, Bianca's here. Like, you're just not always going to be his first choice, Bianca. And I'm actually really disappointed that you got knocked up by that nigga again. And now I'm sure you're going to feel like, oh, I got his baby. That's going to make him commit to me. Psh, bitch, you gonna learn the hard way, okay? He gonna be fucking with that white girl. You gonna be taking another $200 Uber to go beat her ass up with the baby in the car, okay? With Chosen's ass, because he's not gonna commit to you, point blank, period. But yeah, so that's where the episode ends. So y'all tell me what you thought about Marriage Boot Camp, how you feel about Stevie J and Jocelyn, that whole situation. So let's get into what the Flocka, the whole Waka and Tammy show on WeTV. The first episode I missed, but this is episode 2, and we see Walker's outside, just like on the balcony, talking to his friend, and he's talking about how after he talked to his mom, he realized, I need to go to counseling for myself, work out these things. I can't talk to my wife. She's not really somebody who understands what I'm trying to say. If I say something she doesn't like, she blows up, and that's not good when you try to vent and get stuff off your chest. You don't want to have to talk to somebody who's not going to hear you because they're too busy in their emotions. So Tammy walks out, tries to check on him, and Walker's kind of in the mood. She's like, your vibration's off. She's like, something's off. He's like, no, it's okay. I can handle it on my own. I talked to my mama. And she got offended. Why are you talking to your mama? Why are you not talking to me? I think that's kind of what everybody does, Tammy. Like, you talk to your mom when you need advice about stuff, so why can't he talk to his mom? Now, the difference is, Deb needs to stay her ass out y'all business. She keeps, infiltrating herself in y'all's situations, and that's only making it worse. So he needs to stop talking to Deb so much and go talk to a therapist and get real, true advice that's non-biased, because Deb has an issue with that. She's always going to choose Waka and that side over anything else. So speaking of Deb, she ends up going to talk to Debrat because she's kind of feeling the type of way about the conversation with Waka. Now, Debrat, I really appreciate Debrat in any show that she's been on, growing up hip hop with the Flocka. She's always been a sounding board for everybody, and she gives really good advice. She knows how to see it from an objective point of view, and she knows how to tone out the bullshit in her emotions for actual decent advice. So she tells Deb, look, you can't be putting all that stuff on Waka. Like you said, because she was confused why he wanted to go to therapy by himself. And she's like, I told him Tammy needs to go too, so y'all can work that shit out. And Debrat's like, no. He has his own individual stuff he needs to work out. You can't go into a relationship unless your own shit is worked out, which is very much true. Couples seem to don't realize, yeah, you can do couple therapy, but you yourself needs to work out all that inner shit that's going on inside of you to become a healthy person, because unhealthy people don't make healthy relationships. That's not how it goes. So yes, he needs to go work his shit out first. Then he can bring Tammy in so he can explain to her in a healthy way what's going on, inside of his situation, inside of his, internal struggles. So Deb also too is feeling a little upset about the whole baby situation. Tammy kind of convinced her, by the next year we'll have a baby. And, Deb was definitely looking for that, but that's not happening, okay? Tammy's super busy. She's doing her music now. She's out on, women empowerment stuff. And Deb is kind of feeling a little bit selfish because she's like, I lost 2 sons. And especially with the way that she lost her sons, like, she just wants something else, I think, in the bloodline, on Waka's side especially. And she wants Waka to have, something running around of his that, God forbid something happened, she'll at least have a remnants of Waka. But, Debrat had to explain to her, like, that's selfish. You can't put that on her. That's, she has stuff going on. Let them get that figured out. Then they'll get the baby. So Waka goes to therapy. He talks to Dr. Siri. Now, I've seen him before because on Viceland, Dr. Siri had a little therapy show and a lot of celebrities were going on there to talk to him. So he goes to talk out, everything that's going on with him. And here we kind of see that Waka has a problem being emotionless. Rather, he doesn't really outwardly express what's going on inside of him. And, he explained how with his brothers dying, he handled that within days, within months. He got over seeing his, brother commit suicide. And, Dr. Siri asked, like, you don't think nothing's wrong with that? For him, it's like, man, it should have been a lot of shit that tore me down, but it hasn't, because I just been through so much stuff that I basically taught myself, okay, build a wall, get over it. And especially with having Deb as a mom who was nothing but tough love, she even realized that she had an epiphany at Debrat's house. She realized, damn, I wasn't really soft with my sons. I wasn't really giving them a safe place to come and talk to me, or, feel just, that motherly hug that you need sometimes, with them not saying nothing, not giving advice, just sometimes just being there for a nurturing moment. Deb never gave that. So now that's how Waka is now going into the world, not really having, true love, as he said. He's like, I don't even know if I know what true love is. He has to work on being able to express his emotions outwardly and, actually deal with them. And now he's going to have to talk to Tammy about that. But the problem is, Tammy ass is so hard now that she's not willing to listen to Waka. You get offended, like, I don't know how my husband's not able to talk to me. But then when he talks to you, you get pissed off and you're not really hearing him because you got this, hard shell on from all the shit that he did to you and all the stuff that's going on in the world that's pissed you off. And that's not fair to him as your husband. You can't expect him to want to talk to you if you're not a safe place for him to land. If you're not somewhere that he is comfortable talking, about. Like, I used to have that problem all the time, with my mom growing up. As a teenager, you want to be able to, like, there are some girls who have that relationship with their mom where it's like, I tell her everything, everything that's going on with you. My mom's my best friend. I didn't have that with my mom because she just wasn't anybody that I knew I could talk to. Because every time I said something to her, it turned into what I did wrong. It turned into like just how you need to do better. Like sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you just need a sounding board and just somebody just hear what you're saying. And Tammy hasn't necessarily gotten that part down yet without criticizing him. You know, Walker said, dang, like that was harsh what you said. Like, and I think she's just became like that because that's who she married. She married a hard ass dude. And now that he's softening up, she doesn't know how to soften up because she done built this hard exterior to deal with him. And she doesn't know how to turn it off. So Dr. Siri says, look, bring Tammy in here and we're going to figure out something to help you guys out. So Tammy's up in New York doing the women empowerment thing, and she's talking about her life growing up, you know, having to beg for food. Her mama was an addict. They had to work through that. And that's kind of leading into her life about how she's trying to deal with Charlie. Now, Charlie, this little spoiled ass brat, now she need her ass whooped because she and that slick mouth of hers, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. She's not, no. Tammy's actually right. I ain't trying to raise no spoiled ass brat when I did all the hard work and made this money for us. And the problem is, every time she tries to punish Charlie, here go Walker backtracking it all because he's, you know, going completely against what Tammy said. And she asked him to make sure she stays on punishment while she's gone. So her ass is in New York, and guess what Walker's doing with Charlie back home? He trying to bribe her so he can go to a soccer game and she go out to her friend's house. Now, they're sitting there lying, trying to figure out this lie, and I'm watching Charlie do that, and it's like, damn, Walker, that's really fucked up. Like, you want to say, oh, she always, you know, tries to come after my parenting, but at the end of the day, parenting is with the two of y'all. You can't parent separately and expect, you know, results, especially if y'all are on opposite ends of the spectrum. Tammy can be so hard and then you be so lackadaisical because no matter what, as a kid, you're going to go to the parent who's lackadaisical with the no rules. They're always going to be the fun parent. They're always going to be the one that they run to. And that's clearly what is happening here. Tammy's looking like the horrible mom, you know, that doesn't want to listen to her daughter. And Charlie also is just making it super hard for her because Walker is only reinforcing that behavior by allowing her to skip out on the punishment. Then he out there at the game putting it all on IG and stuff. Charlie like, oh no, I want an iPhone 11. It better be here by tomorrow because I'm lying for you. And in her confessional, she want to be slick. Adults should know to do better. I'm still a kid. I only use part of my brain. Like she's being sarcastic as fuck, but the fact that she knows that she can do that with Walker is a problem. He thinks it's cute not being able to say no to his child, but no, like that's not cool because now Tammy has to come in, be the asshole mom, and she doesn't want to do that all the time. You can tell that she's getting exhausted with having to be, you know, the hard-ass mom all the time that's the disciplinarian and the bad person. Like, that's a lot to do. Like, can you just back her up one time, Walker, please? So she gets back from New York. The sister's like, what's going on with Walker? She's like, what you mean? She's like, he was on IG. She sees it. She's like, I'm about to tear that shit up. She's like, think I'm small, but nigga, I'm the mightiest one in this house. You know, she's been doing her music and stuff, and that's also a battle between her and Walker because she's out super late at night, and I guess he's managing now because he's out of the music game, you know, but she gets there, and it's like, hey, and Charlie, first of all, she came home with these ugly-ass blonde dreads. They weren't cute. Walker's like, girl, you left the house come back with a whole different hairstyle. You ain't supposed to do that. You weren't supposed to get your hair done. Charlie's like, nuh-uh, tell her you got my hair done. Just tell you did it because it was all messed up. He's like, no, because you just got your hair done. Like, that's not going to make no sense. But the fact that she's like, I still need my phone, my iPhone 11, because I lied for you. Like, you're as the parent figure, you seriously having your teenage daughter lie for you? Are you kidding me, Walker? What do you think that's going to turn to later on in down her life? She's going to turn into a goddamn liar to y'all all the time, and you're going to sit there and reinforce that behavior is not cool. But Tammy comes in, and she looking at Walker like, what the fuck is this? She's like, you got her hair done? He's like, yeah, I went over there. She's like, you sure about that? He's like, yeah. So she's like, explain this. And she put the phone up, and he was like, oh, that's a blow-up doll. Now, Charlie's sitting there on the counter just, like, looking out the corner of her eye because she knows she done fucked up. But she's like, you ain't supposed to be at your friend's house. But the problem is, Charlie keeps choosing wrong because Walker's allowing her to do it. And she could have stayed home. She knew to stay home be better. Or if anything, if Walker, you wanted to go to the game, Why you ain't take her to Deb's house? Deb ain't gonna play that shit, okay? She was like, no, like, I'm so tired of this. So she called Cooney, the one who ended up setting up the thing for Walker. His dumbass done snitched on him because Walker ain't feeling men on the lot. So she's like, yeah, Cooney, well, how was the game with Walker? He's like, yeah, it was great. We was on the field. And now Walker's sitting there like, damn, Cooney, you done lied. He tried to make up for it real quick. Oh, I mean, I don't know what day that was. I can't remember. She's like, nigga, don't try to fix it up now. So now she ends up grabbing the scissors, running around the house after Charlie, cutting off the front 2 dreads, and is doing the mostest. Granted, cutting off the dreads might have been a lot, but I feel like she goes so far to the left because she is trying to do drastic things just to get them to understand, like, I'm not playing. And I think, Walker, I don't think you understand how much you play a part in her parenting with Charlie. And also, all that stress is only going to come back to you, because now y'all sitting there arguing about Charlie. You think she doing too much, but she wouldn't have to do too much if you had already had a backbone from the get-go. But you, oh, no, I can't do it. I can't say no to her. It's just not going to happen. And that's why she's going to turn into a big-ass brat, spoiled baby, because you feel like you can't say no. Are you kidding me? But Tammy, granted, I get you're trying to raise your daughter in the right way. I think, like, if you start having a softer approach to her, she might start coming to you more, start actually talking to you a little bit more, and be a lot more respectful. And Walker will feel comfortable talking to you and actually telling you what's going on in his head. But Tammy has a lot of stuff she needs to work on her own. And from the preview, it looked like she said, I feel like I got 1,000 demons coming after me, and it's just too much. My husband's not making it any easier. So them 2 niggas need separate therapy sessions to work out their stuff. But Tammy definitely has to do a lot better with just softening her approach to stuff, because it's making both Walker and Charlie do completely the opposite of what she, needs, expects from them, and just wants, just out of common decency, respect, and courtesy as the mother and the wife of the home. So that was, Marriage Boot Camp of What the Flocka. Tell me what you thought about both of the episodes. What the Flocka, if you were watching it, tell me how you feel about Tammy cutting Charlie's dreads. Was it team too much? Y'all let me know. I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to this girl's channel. Make sure to like this video, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Deuces.